All right, welcome to the next level. Got my man Frank Eufemia with us today.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Awesome, man. How are you?
Never been better.
Awesome, dude. I appreciate you coming up. I really do. What I want to talk about, man, is for me, it kind of like came out the blue. You've always been the mortgage protection guy, right, for the longest. And I mean, still, like, your mortgage protection training is amazing. I think, a lot of our guys who sell mortgage have used that as kind of like a staple. But lately, and I don't know, probably a couple of years now, you kind of segued a little more into the SRS, annuity, IUL, predominantly annuity, right?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, how did that even start? Did you sell a bunch of annuities back in the day?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I loved them.
Got it.
Yeah.
You're just always known as the mortgage guy.
Yeah, I was always known as the mortgage guy, but I always asked the question.
Okay.
And I closed a lot of annuities, closed a lot of one-call annuities, which was, it wasn't the way it was taught. But I was like, I can get it done now. Why not get it done now?
Yeah.
But we always had, obviously, Sean running the annuity, Ruggiero running the annuity division. He's a lot smarter than I am.
Yeah.
Which I also think kind of push people away from it.
Yeah.
Going like, dude, I'm nowhere near as smart as this guy. I can't do it.
It seemed complicated.
It seemed way more complicated than it really is.
Yeah, I feel like
simple.
our past approach to annuities felt very complicated.
For sure.
Because I didn't sell a ton. I sold a handful at the other company.
Yeah.
And then we came here, I'm like, this seems more confusing, but it's the same product,
Right.
But you guys have done a lot. Like, we rebranded. It's, Simple Retirement Solutions, SRS, and you and a handful of other guys have really been, like, running that, What's that been like for the past, about a year or so now?
Dude, it's been a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like 2022 kind of was like a rainy day, that lasted for a little while. And I don't want to say I was tired or just, bored.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like that purpose that I had for, the first, 8.5, 9 years, and then Sean stepped down, Ruggiero, from the annuity division, and it was kind of just there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody was doing anything with it.
Right.
And I'm like, one day I called Sean. I was like, dude, I'm going to take this over. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking about having that call with him for probably 2 or 3 months.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, I was nervous. I'm like, I didn't know what he was going to say. But he was like, dude, I'm fired up. Yes, do it. Definitely. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, cool. So we just took off with it and ran.
I remember when he called me, he's like, dude, Frank, Brad, a handful of, like, the guys that are selling the annuities and the IULs are going to start doing the training and helping the agents. I'm like, dude, what a shocking idea, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Where'd that come from?
It's like sometimes the simplest answer is the answer. Like, just take the people. Like, same thing we did with final expense and mortgage.
For sure.
One of the reasons that we had you train on mortgage so much wasn't just because you were a good trainer. You also were selling a lot of mortgage protection.
For sure.
Right? Like, it wasn't, well, he's just the best trainer. Yeah, but he's also selling.
Yeah, that's probably why I was a decent trainer.
Yeah, there you go, right? So you guys have kind of reshaped this whole annuity division. Talk to me about the type of support, because you hear all kinds of reasons why people don't sell annuities. It's too complicated. I've heard managers say, I want to get my guy on mortgage and final expense first before we introduce him to the IUL annuities. But I also think a lot of people are unaware of the level of support there is, because they think that I'm going to ask the question and then I'm not going to have any clue of what to say.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing, you specifically from a support standpoint, for any agent that's looking to sell annuities?
So, I mean, obviously we have the Ask a Specialist, which has been around.
Yeah.
But we kind of tweaked it.
Okay.
Before it was, send in your potential client's age and gender and what type of money they have, and we'll send you an illustration.
Yeah.
And we'll send you some points, key selling points. But that wasn't really like enough, because somebody's like, well, I don't even know what this stuff means.
Right.
So we changed it up a little bit. We have 4 options now. We have, the first option is you have no idea what you're doing. You'd like to have one of these guys, Dean, Brad, David, that have sold, a bunch of annuities this year, Hall of Fame annuity producers already.
Right.
They'll do the whole thing for you. John Gavin, same thing. Walk you through the process. They'll sell it while you're on the phone.
So talk to your client for you.
They'll talk to your client.
Yeah.
They'll write the app. They'll get it through suitability, get the money transferred, and wrap it all up, all holding your watch, all while you're watching them do it.
Okay.
So you can see it. It's 50-50 split. you get 50% of the commission. The agent that sells it gets 50% of the commission.
So they're doing like, would you say 80% of the work, 90%?
They're doing 100% of the work
outside of finding the client.
Outside of
so we'll
finding
say
the
98%.
Yeah, 98%.
You got the appointment. Call it 90. Well, fair. You got the appointment. You asked the questions.
Correct.
You did 10% of the work.
Yep.
Now one of these specialists, Dean, yourself, Dave, they're stepping in.
Yep.
They're doing the other 90%.
Yep.
And then they're going to split it 50-50 with you.
Correct.
Seems like a pretty sweet deal.
And teach you at the same time.
Right.
Which is, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because 0% of a million is still zero,
Correct.
right? So if you get 50% of that commission, it's a lot better than nothing.
Yeah.
And then you're learning at the same time. And to be honest with you, it shouldn't take you more than maybe 2. Some people don't only take 1 time.
Yeah.
To get it. So
because that's the goal. It's not to use call Dean every time you have an annuity.
Correct.
No, call Dean the first couple times, but then learn how to do it yourself.
Right. Correct. And so we had that step. That's the first option. The second option is you've maybe done that 50-50 split once or twice, and you feel pretty good, but you want Dean on dial as your phone a friend.
Okay.
And so he might help you come up with a pitch for the sale and may answer some questions. And then if you're on the appointment, you need help closing it, you can call him and he'll step in, and you split it 90-10. You keep 90%, you give Dean 10.
Yeah.
And he's doing, not much of the work, but he's there in the critical spots that you might need him.
Got it.
Which is great because that's to me is like, hell, what do I do? Like if I get stuck, or what if they ask me a question I can't answer? They're going to answer, and that's the goal of that. And then the third option is the way it used to be. If you just want an illustration, not sure what product to write, send it in. They'll send you the product with the key selling points.
Yeah.
And then the fourth option we added was, I don't want to sell annuities, but I'll ask the question. If I find them, I'll give them to you, and you can do what you want. And then obviously, I feel like I've given my phone out a million times, but anybody can call me 443-790-9341. I answer the phone, help you. I mean, we help you get contracted. Yeah. We help you understand how the products work. We have a annuity training camp, which we're working on revamping now.
Okay.
The same support that people have with the life side. Yeah. Like we'll give them with the annuity side.
Right.
Whether your manager does it or not, whether they want to do it or not, like we're here to help, and we will. John Gavin's, we added him and Dean recently, and John's so good. Dean's a beast in the field. John's not as much in the field, but he can explain it.
He's got the knowledge.
He's got the knowledge, and him and I are on the same wavelength as far as how simple they are and how we should be talking about them, because I don't want to scare people away.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You can get complicated with annuity. It's all different types. It's all different, but it's kind of like the same thing with life insurance. You get very complicated with life insurance. There's all types of underwriting products that have dividends and this and that. Yeah. But that's not the
us.
stuff we sell.
Right.
And that's not what our clients want.
That's right.
And I think it's the same thing with the annuities. Like our clients are not typically the guy who wants some crazy variable annuity. He's going to put all his life savings in. Dude, it's people that have an old 401k.
That's it.
They want to stretch it out for retirement.
That's right.
They don't want to lose anything.
That's right.
Or they have something that's been losing money for years. They just want to keep whatever is in there safe. Yep. Like those are most of our clients.
Blue collar workers, man.
Yeah.
They don't want somebody to come in there in a suit that's going to talk to them and as if they're better than them. Correct. They just want somebody to explain it to where they can understand it. Yep. And I think that's, going back to the mortgage protection days, I think that's why I was so successful at selling mortgage protection, is because it's simple. Yeah. And if you can explain it to your client where they understand it, then they're comfortable enough to move forward. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I love what you guys are doing, man, and it removes every excuse in the book. Right?
For sure.
You go, well, I don't know what to do. Okay, well, we just walked through all these different options. You could do one where you do nothing. You just pass it over. You could do one where you split it 50-50 and you only do 10% of the work, but you're learning. And the goal is do that a few times and do it on your own.
That's it.
Now, there's some people that go, well, hey, before I do that, I need some training. Yeah. That's fair. You guys usually have an annuity boot camp you guys put together.
And then we have a call every Thursday.
We call every Thursday. Yep. Right? Talk to me about that call. What happens on that call? Where can they listen, watch?
So it's srsliftoff.com.
Okay.
You go there, and it takes you right to the Zoom every Thursday at noon. So we were doing annuity every Thursday. Yeah. And then, we're like, I'm running out of people to have on the call. Right. So then Sean's like, why don't you have Zach, come in with you, and you can do every other week annuity IUL.
Got it.
So then we're like, that's good. And then Zach and I were talking one day, and he was like, dude, what if we did a Q&A? I'm like, dude, I love that. So now it's every third week. So it's annuity training, IUL training, Q&A.
Got it.
So the Q&A, you can ask questions about IULs or annuities, and we usually have 2 or 3 guys that are girls that are selling annuities or IULs at a high level. That'll just be on there, and if you ask a question, they'll answer it.
Got it. So this is live on Zoom?
Live on Zoom.
Every Thursday?
Every Thursday
what time?
at noon.
Noon Eastern?
Yep.
So every third week,
Yep.
you can you have a live Q&A.
Live Q&A.
So any question you have about annuities,
Yep.
there's no dumb question about annuities.
No dumb
The
question.
dumb questions are when you don't ask.
Yeah.
You know, in other aspects, there are definitely dumb questions, but you're asking about annuities.
That's right.
Like, there's no dumb questions. Just ask it.
And we get some.
Yeah, I'm sure. But the thing is, dude, your question, there's probably 5 other people that have it that are afraid to ask. They're watching. They're hoping someone asks.
That's right.
You know? How long you guys been doing this weekly training now?
September will be a year, I think.
Okay.
So about 10 months.
And, I mean, on that, what do you get on every week? A couple hundred people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually between 150 to 250. Yeah, it should be. It should absolutely be. And the challenge is nobody shares it.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm texting 10 minutes before, 15 minutes. I'm texting everybody on my phone that I know.
Yep.
You know, agency managers, VPs,
we need buy-in
partners.
from everyone.
We need buy-in.
I was talking to Sean a few weeks ago about, convention registration. He's like, we got to pump it out. I'm like, do we market the shit out of it?
Yeah.
And like, well, why do you think more people aren't registered right now? Because we don't have everyone else.
Right.
Yeah, it calls the guys are like, have you thought about putting an email out about TNL? I'm like, dude,
it goes out every week.
Yes, I thought about marketing an email, genius. Thank you, bud. Any other dumbass ideas? But how about you put an email out about it?
For sure.
How about you take our email and forward it? How about you take the we used to have crazy buy-in from the entire company. But and then sometimes it gets a little diluted. Like, well, you're doing an annuity bootcamp. I'm doing my own. Why?
Why? Yeah, why?
Dude, I was never, after you did a mortgage training, I was never going to go, let me go up and do my version. No, dude. How do you learn mortgage? Watch this.
Yeah, it's no need.
No need.
No need.
We do this every single week. We don't need, and we're training. Y'all are saying the same stuff, by the way.
For sure.
Matter of fact, because we're flying your people in to train.
Right. Right.
Like, I love that. But
yeah, for sure. Dude, I think it's really just a matter of wanting your agents to win, and this to me is it's not the only way, but it certainly helps. I just know how many months we're going to be super tight. Maybe it had some chargebacks, maybe it just had some bad weeks.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask that question, what do you have that acts like life insurance, IRA, 401k, 403b, anything with a beneficiary attached to it? If you ask that in every appointment, dude, you'll by accident write one.
Absolutely.
I mean, one of the biggest ones I ever wrote, it was a mortgage protection appointment. The guy had no teeth. His wife had whiskers. The kitchen floor had like as many tile in it as he had teeth in his mouth. Like it was a disaster. And I'm going like, but I just asked. And it just became habit. And I go, what do you have that acts like life insurance? He's like, well, I got a 401k and I'm actually getting ready to retire. Don't know what to do with it.
Yep.
I'm like, well, how much do you have in there? He's like, 750. I was like, dollars? He was like, no, 1,000. I was like, huh? So I wound up in 45 minutes. I wrote a mortgage protection policy. And then I wrote him an annuity that I still talk to the guy once a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, that was so easy. But I always say to everybody, if you would have been in that home and asked that question, you would have wrote it.
Yeah.
He was giving somebody his money. The first person that asked.
Right.
So it's like, if you just ask, you're going to find it's a lay down, right? We call it lay down. You're going to find one out of 10, 20, 100. Absolutely. I don't know what your number is going to be. You're going to find one.
Yeah. And now with the support that we have, like if you said to me in 2015, I don't want to ask the question because I don't know what to do when they say yes and we don't have the right support to help me write the annuity.
Yeah.
I got you.
For sure.
I'd still push back. I'm like, dude, just ask because you can figure it out. You got the carrier. You got to ask a specialist. But I agree. At that time, the annuity training was like, you ever see that meme with all like the dots and the string? That was our annuity training. Like,
for sure.
37% over here and this is the quantum fit. Like, whoa, just calm down. How about you don't want to lose any more money? Okay, cool. But now with the system that you guys have set up, the support, there's no reason not to ask that question.
Nope.
Well, I don't want to write the annuity. Well, we have an option for that.
And then once you write one, it's literally you either make money or you stay the same.
Right.
I mean, how hard is that to explain?
Yeah.
When the market goes up, you're making money. When the market goes down, your money stays the same.
Right.
Like,
yeah. So let's go there. Let's kind of wrap with some, I guess, sales not techniques, but some things to dispel the myth of like it's complicated, right?
Yeah.
So I asked my client, do you have any accident life insurance? Yes, I do. What do I need to know to even start that conversation about annuity? Stuff you were just talking about. You don't want to lose money. Like, what are a few things that an agent who's maybe brand new needs to know to at least get that conversation going to then pass it off to someone else?
Dude, the easiest way for me was to just draw an illustration.
Okay.
Like, and it's 3 arrows in a circle.
Yeah.
And I would go, the market can do 3 things. It can go up, it can go down, or it can stay the same. If you could eliminate one of those, which would it be? And they always go down.
Right.
And I would X that out and circle it. And I go, this is what an annuity does. Would that be something you'd be interested in learning about? I mean, it's that simple. That's all you have to say.
Right.
And then hand it off to an Ask a Specialist.
Yeah.
Or call me. We help. Just help one of my new agent. Not she's been here, but a new annuity agent. She closed her first one, I don't know, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
She was on the phone with Mike on the way here today. She was writing one again. She's like, I'm at the end. What do I do? Mike's like, you mean it says 100%? She's like, yeah. He's like, sign it and send it in. She's like, that's it?
Right.
I was like, yeah, that's it. So it's like, just ask.
Yeah.
You will learn. You didn't know how to sell life insurance when you got here.
Right. Exactly.
You learn that. This is not, to me, this isn't as complicated as selling life insurance because you don't have all the medications you need to know and the medical impairments you need to know. It's suitability. How much do you have? How much do you have in savings? How much, annuity money do you want to put, or how much money you want to put into your annuity? That's how you calculate suitability. Whatever you have, you can't take more than your 50% of your assets and tie it up into an annuity because you're putting it in there for a period of time.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's really nothing other than what's the best product, and you don't even need to know that. You can send an Ask a Specialist request, and they'll tell you what the best product is.
Dude, every annuity I wrote, I always led with, I'm going to get this to our annuity specialist and see what they recommend. Yeah. Whether we had none, at one point the annuity specialist was like, let me call Sean when I get in the car, or maybe even right now. But like, it was never about me and my knowledge.
Correct.
It was always, sometimes it was the carrier. I remember calling up American Equity. Hey, I got a guy who's got this much money. What product is the best one? What state are you in? You're in Connecticut. Okay, cool. You can write this one.
Yep.
I didn't need to know everything.
Nope.
I didn't know anything. I just needed to know that they had money.
Yep.
That, like you said, acts like life insurance. And I needed to know that they didn't want to lose anymore.
That's it.
That was it.
Or they want lifetime income guaranteed.
There you go.
That's your 2 options. They don't want to lose money.
Yep.
Or they want to make sure that their money they don't outlive what they have.
Right.
We can handle both of those.
Yep.
That's it.
Most of the annuities, are they still, old 401k? Where are you seeing most of them being?
Most of them are 401k rollovers or some sort of traditional IRA, TSP, 403b.
Got it.
That's where most of them come from.
And the only real, I guess one of the biggest things they need to know about that is if it's an active 401k, you can't move it, right? If you're working, most of the time not. Yep. But if you've left that company, is there any timeline? Is it you could have quit yesterday?
Quit yesterday, you could move it today.
Yep.
And even you will learn a bunch, right?
Yep.
But to get started, you don't need to know a bunch.
Right.
But you'll learn stuff like, hey, some companies allow in-service distribution. So if they're still working there, they might be able to move 20, 30, 40%.
Yeah.
Or let's just say you worked at a company for 10 years and in year 11, they changed their management company who was managing that 401k. Anything that was in the old one before it went into the new one, you have the ability to move. That's just stuff you learn. But again, you can't learn it unless you ask the questions.
Right.
And once you ask those questions, you'll realize you don't have to be some financial guru to do this. I mean, dude, look at me. I'm not I have no college degree. I'm not a moron, but I'm not the smartest guy in the room, So if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
But if you truly care about your clients, that's where, for me, it was simple for me because I feel like my clients knew that deep down inside, I just wanted to help them.
Right.
And I was passionate about it. I was passionate about mortgage protection, passionate about final expense, passionate about annuities, because that helped people in the long run, you know?
That's a huge piece to it. I think one of the biggest fears among, people as they get older is that, am I going to outlive my retirement?
Heck yeah.
Because, I don't know the stat, but I'd assume over 50% of people don't have enough to live on. It's probably a lot higher than that. But so it's kind of like, we talk about recruiting. If you love this deal and it's so great for you, you're doing the people a disservice by not sharing it with them.
That's right.
And the annuity, same thing.
Same thing.
So you're willing to help your client out with life insurance for when they die, but you're not willing to ask a question to help them out when they retire?
For sure.
Why?
That's part of your job. And, oh, by the way, I wrote so many life policies because I was going to help them with their annuity. And maybe their life insurance guy didn't write the perfect product for them or didn't explain it right. And they're like, well, I just want you to have it all.
Right.
So, like, I'm not saying you should replace policies, but I can tell you, you write 2 policies in a home, the chances of your persistency being higher is a lot greater.
Correct.
So, dude, if you want good persistency, write more than 1 policy.
Yeah.
If they're only one person and they have money in a 401k, write them an annuity. They'll stay with you.
Yep.
I don't have clients cancel annuities. Once they're on, they're
Right.
on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They're on. They don't go anywhere.
No.
And they don't cancel their life policy either. Nope.
I mean, I've done a handful where they're in variable annuities.
Yeah.
And you can move them into a fixed. So they were having an annuity. Yeah, but what is there? What annuity do they have?
Yes.
And that's something where they could call you guys, right? So if I'm talking to a client, he goes, I already have an annuity. Cool. How's it doing? Oh, it's lost money this past year, but let me look at it.
Yes.
And then I can call you.
100%. Dude, anybody that's watching, you can always call me.
Yeah.
And if I don't answer you right away, I'll send you a text.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone or in a meeting, and I will call you right back. And if you're in an appointment with somebody, a potential annuity appointment, just text that, and I'll stop what I'm doing, and I'll come out and talk to you.
Love it. Well, I appreciate everything you're doing from that aspect. It's just goes back to what we taled about, on your True Talk, just being a team player.
For sure.
It's like you're not just helping your group, anyone in the company who's got a question about annuities. And the thing I love the most is it removes I hate excuses.
Yeah.
Like you got kids. Kids have all kinds of excuses. Why they didn't clean their room,
right?
Why they didn't do their homework, why there's always some reason why,
That's right.
It's never that you just didn't do it. And it's the same thing with agents sometimes. There's always an excuse, right? Well, you don't understand. If I knew a little bit more, I would. You don't need to know anything. There's no excuse now to not ask that question.
That's right.
You don't even have to write the damn thing.
Nope.
But you're doing your clients a disservice. Because here's the other thing. It's kind of like when, the big thing about mortgage protection, one of the big things was cashback option. Most clients even to this day, have no idea it exists.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like, it's been around for about 10, 15 years, maybe even longer. But rarely have I ever sat down with a client where they go, oh, yeah, I know all about return of premium.
Yeah.
They look at you like you're lying. Like, wait a minute. So if I don't, do I get my money back?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But you have to educate. Same thing with fixed index annuities. Most clients, even clients that have an annuity, are like mind-boggling. Wait a minute. There's one where it won't lose any money at all?
Correct.
I thought all annuities lose money.
And now with the no caps and stuff like that, they're even annuities that were written 10 years ago, 8 years ago, like the products out now, they're a lot better.
Oh, dude, when we used to do before you guys had SRS, we had like a TNL series of annuities. I remember sitting down with these guys and the bonuses for moving money. Oh, I'm like, dude, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
So you're going to take my money. It's not going to cost me any money.
Right.
Then you're going to add more money to my account.
Right.
And then if I turn on the lifetime income, I'm going to get even more money than what was in there in the first place.
Yes.
And you're paying the agent. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Well, how does that even possible? But it is.
It is. And
for sure.
Trust me, they know, carriers know how to make money. So they're doing all right. I promise you that.
Yeah, they are.
But hey, thanks again, dude, for coming in. Thanks for everything you do for the bigger team. That whole rising tide raises all ships. And I think what you guys are doing is a testament to that. I look forward to seeing the annuity production go through the roof. And guys, check out the SRS. Was it Blast Off?
Liftoff.
Liftoff.
Yep.
SRS Liftoff call every Thursday, noon Eastern time. What was the web address?
SRSliftoff.com.
Yep. Live Zoom every third week. You got a Q&A. Don't miss that, dude.
No, it's
Don't
good.
Miss that.
It's so good.
Yeah, imagine if we had that back in the day.
No, I can imagine what the numbers would be like, but geez, peasy. No, it's awesome.
Insane, dude. Well, thanks again, Frank. Guys, thanks for tuning in. You know where to find us every week right here on The Next Level. We'll see you next week.